Alright, I'm getting ready to set up a 330 right now, so I figured I'd turn this camera on and talk a little bit about the trap itself and a little bit of safety as well. Flip this camera back around. Alright. Obviously you got your dogs latched over. Once the trap is set, you should always put a safety on there. These are pretty powerful traps, big springs. Even the springs themselves can get you if you're not careful. So like I said, make sure your dogs are facing down, just like they are in both of these. Now you notice I got a wire hanging off of these. After I get my trap situated where I'm setting it, when I flip these dogs over, I'll push them back to this end of the spring and actually wire them right to this. That way nothing can kick them back over and end up latching them and you get something swimming through your trap that you don't get. Same thing on this side, and chain that runs off of it, and I'll run a wire to either a stake or a nearby tree, or even something like that, a tree root. So I'll flip this back around, see if I can't set this thing up so you can watch. I don't know if that's gonna work or not. If I can make up my mind, we'll get a trap in the water. Usually you can see the string from my safety there dangling. It's not a bad idea to hang that around your neck so you don't forget to take it off, which I've done. Sure your wire, all that other stuff's out of the way. Oh yeah, like this way. Sometimes you can actually get these springs to keep it where you want to be. Right, so a good idea is keep track of your wire. While you're setting your trap, that way you ain't gotta fish for it. just in between my stick. We'll cooperate with you. Jeez. Dog back. Push the spring back down. There we go. Just grabbing some mud from around here. That's big enough. Splash some water up. Get it all nice, flat, shiny. Since I'm kind of on an open bank, I got a few extra sticks. Put this dog back over. Maybe. I'm just wiring to that, whether you can see me doing it or not. That way if something does wiggle this trap loose from the stakes, which I had happen yesterday, 330 come up missing. All my other traps around it were still there, so I don't think something was, or somebody stole it. It either come free and I'd forgotten to wire it off, alright, flip this back around. But I got that set. Ah, crap, I left that wire sticking up. Alright, back up from it a little bit. It's just a small little slide. If I had had my hammer out here, I could have chiseled out a bigger trench or a better trench for it. I got a small castor pile that I made right there. I see beaver print. We got some gnawing there, some heavy gnawing there, and a little bit of cutting going on back in through here. So that trap that I left my damn safety on and the wire out of is set and where it's going to be. You can see I just got a couple sticks. You don't need to put cow fencing up to get these guys to swim in towards what you want. Now, right here and right there, what I'm gonna do is I'll walk back here somewhere and find a couple pretty good sized branches, and I'll kind of make a V and just lay them on the ground, just overhanging the creek or the river. That way, if they do get curious, it might funnel them up in there. It's worked for me in the past, and so on sets like these, I try to put them on like that. Alrighty, that's about it. Actually, no, that's not about it. Let's see, in this pouch here somewhere. Bam, a little bit of beaver lure. Let's see if I can find me a stick. Here we go. Flip that back around. Yeah, maybe I need another twig. There's always another one close by. And here we go. Like I said before, I don't get skittish with this lure. That's what I'm counting on, bringing something in here. I'll put a good old chunk on there if it'll stay. That's why a lot of times it's better to find a small twig and V it. It'll stay right in the V. All I'm gonna do is turn that a little bit better. Let's see here, because I'm over that. Alright, right there. That stick sticking up's got that lure all over it. Wind's blowing pretty good. I think I got a bank den right over there. It looks like it's covered up pretty good, but they're working this bank right along here. So maybe I'll get one going or coming out of the water. Maybe I'll get one going back into it after it's come up here and sniffed around on this castor that I just set. Now, another thing that I do sometimes is I'll take a little bit of this lure, just dip it onto a stick, get the oil, some of that scent on there, pick it back up off the ground like I do every dang time I scoop into this. I'll dab a little bit right on the slide because it's still got moisture and water running down it a little bit. I'll let that carry it. That way if they get curious and just come up and sniff with their nose out of the water, it's right there in their face. Same thing, I'll get a little bit more on the stick and I come right down here by the water. And I'll stick it into the bank and then push that stick right to the edge of the water. And you can see it as you can't see it, but I can see it. As that water hits that lure, it puts a little bit of a glycerol skin across the water, or slick anyways, and that carries that downstream, sticks onto all kinds of stuff. So hopefully when we come back tomorrow, something got curious and come through here. I'm gonna take this safety off before I forget. See if I can do this without falling in. Put my glove back on. Ooh, should've. That's cold water. And when I got into the water, I tripped over that wire I needed to bury back under. So maybe it'll stay down there. Of course, it's hooked on my boot. Give that a little push down there. All right, that's it. Another simple 330 set. It looks like they've been channeling up in here. Anyways, it's probably hard to see with that glare. So I'm gonna walk myself, my trapping bag. Here's another Duke number 4 I was gonna put out, but I left my sandbag down at the jet sled, so I'm not gonna worry about it today. I'll put it back in the bag and set it when I come back out here. I got live traps, so I know I'll be out here tomorrow. Excuse the camera beating around everywhere. Take my shed back to the truck, go home, get something to eat, and go back to work. Beaver hunting.